Hi, my name is Jason Hayes, and I'm a composer for Blizzard Entertainment and a co-founder of the band Critical Hit.
So Jason, how did this band come together?
Michael Gluck and I met backstage at a video games live concert, and I was lucky enough to have my music from Warcraft performed there. And he was there as a guest MC, and he's also played piano for their concerts before. And when we met, it was like an instant friendship. It was like, I'd known him a long time. We really hit it off. He told me about his background playing piano music, doing Final Fantasy music at conventions. And soon after, we started talking about ideas of a band project we'd like to do together. And it resulted in the formation of Critical Hit.
How do you guys decide what music you're going to play?
For the first album, Michael took a big lead role in helping to decide the assortment of tracks. Of course, he's very biased toward Japanese RPGs, which I love as well, but I was kind of showing him how there's a lot of great music in the West as well. So we have things like Halo, which has a great score, and other games in the West. So we have a mixture of both these classic RPG games, some newer things, and we think the album is a nice representation of a cross-section of the industry. It doesn't capture everything we want to do. We have a lot of ideas for tracks that we're excited about doing, but for a first album, we think it's a pretty interesting combination.
What are you doing here at Blizzcon?
BlizzCon is such an amazing celebration of our games at Blizzard, and it's really special for me because we just had our debut performance. Critical Hit got to play at the sound panel. So it was amazing to connect with all the fans of the games in this way through live performance. I used to play in bands for many years before I became a full-time composer. So being able to connect with game fans and people interested in the music in this way is a real joy. And we couldn't have picked a better place to do it than BlizzCon for our first performance.
What has fan reaction been like since your first performance?
You know, we just got off stage, literally, so we'll probably find out soon what people are thinking. But I don't know yet. I've already gotten a lot of people tweeting about things, and people seem to be excited. But since we've released our first video, a couple videos, we've had a lot of positive response, both from people that have seen the videos, and also I've had a lot of great response from colleagues in the industry, other composers that work in games that couldn't be more tickled about this band that we're forming. We're excited about having some of my friends that work in music for games being guest performers, composers that come in and get to also share in the joy of experiencing this music live. And I think we should have an interesting lineup of a lot of interesting characters that come and join us on stage.
Have you seen video game music evolve over the years?
Wow, it's been a really interesting progression. In the beginning, it was really a lo-fi representation of the ideas that the composers had, so it'd be very limited in what could be done. But even then, the music there was a lot of excellent music being written, and it's a testament to that you can enjoy that music today. Some of that music still has a following, even though it had its own limitations. You know, now we can do things. I'm getting to record with live full orchestra, which is an incredible joy, and we can express our ideas in a more robust way. But at the end of the day, a good musical idea, even through a very limited filter, if it's a great idea, it still comes across.
Where do you find inspiration when composing your video game music?
I get a lot of inspiration from the team. I enjoy watching as our incredible artists at Blizzard develop this concept art. And for World of Warcraft, when we were starting work on the Elwyn Forest Zone, as an example, an artist drew this picture of a forest in the morning with kind of the god rays through the trees, and it was just a beautiful rendering of a forest. And so I wrote music to that. There was no zone to walk around in, and so I wrote this music that would hopefully convey some of the tranquil beauty of being in the forest. And when I got done with it, I waited until they were ready with a first version of the zone, and we plugged it in, and it was a pretty amazing experience to hear the whole world come to life. You know, now you can walk around in it, you're hearing music play, and it was a pretty special thing for me. Then later on, when we actually are getting ready later on to release the game, you know, a few years later, and you see how many people are in that zone walking around, and it's a vibrant world, but you don't count on things like, you know, killing rats in the middle of the forest, and I never thought of that when I wrote the music, so it's kind of funny because it's hard to deal with the variety of situations this music will play in, but I guess you can hope that if people are fighting and and it's really loud. Maybe it drowns out the music for a while, and then when you're done fighting, it kind of goes away and you're back to the tranquil beauty again.